Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the coolest Disney extras and excursions that we've tried recently. We've got the inside scoop on 4 different adventures, including the Keys to the Kingdom tour, the Fireworks dessert party, the Rose and Crown dinner and fireworks package, and of course our Disney fishing excursion. Let's kick things off with the Disney fishing excursion. Now if you're looking for something a bit off the beaten path during your Disney trip, this might be right up your alley. Disney offers guided fishing trips on several of their stunning lakes: Bay Lake, Seven Seas Lagoons, Village Lake, Crescent Lake, and the World Showcase Lagoon. These trips are available from various marinas across their resorts. So here's a scoop on our experience. We decided to book our fishing trip on a whim, literally, the day before, and ended up with a slot on Barefoot Bay near the Caribbean Beach Resort. We knew a little of this location, but we were unsure where it all connected to, and we'll show you more details as we go along. When we arrived at the resort, we were greeted by our captain, who was not only super friendly, but also incredibly knowledgeable. He was a bit surprised we'd booked the 4-hour option for Barefoot Bay, as it is a smaller area. After a bit of discussion, we decided to shorten our trip to 2 hours, which turned out to be the perfect call. The captain was totally cool about it and arranged for a refund for the difference. For families or anyone new to fishing, Barefoot Bay is a great spot for a 2-hour adventure. It's especially fun for kids. As for seasoned anglers like some of us, you might want to consider Bay Lake for a bit more of a challenge. We had a blast on the pontoon boat, which was shaded and comfortable. Disney takes care of everything, providing water, soft drinks, fishing gear, live bait, and even plastics if you prefer. Our guide was fantastic, really encouraging us to use the live bait for the best chances. And guess what? Despite the smaller area, we all caught fish. I even managed to reel in one of my own with a bit of help from our guide. We also had a run-in with a couple of turtles, but the captain safely released them. In the end, the 4-hour trip cost us $450 for 3 people, but with the shortened time, we did get the refund like I mentioned. So our verdict? This fishing excursion is perfect for families and beginners. For people who are more experienced in fishing, Bay Lake might be the better fit. Either way, we had a memorable experience and would definitely recommend giving it a go. So next up, we're diving into the Keys of the Kingdom tour, a must-do experience at Magic Kingdom. So what exactly is this tour? Well, it's a fascinating behind-the-scenes look at the history of Disney and the park itself, featuring exclusive access to some secret backstage areas. Now, some people say that this tour might ruin the magic, but we decided to take the plunge and see for ourselves. So what do you need to know? Well, if you're booking it, you need to pre-book your spot up to 60 days in advance. So if you're interested, don't wait. These tours are limited in size and they fill up fast. The cost of the tour is $129 plus tax and does require a park pass in addition to this. It's for guests age 16 and older and lasts about 5 hours. So expect a lot of walking and standing, but they do have fully accessible for wheelchairs and scooters. The tours run in the morning, so departing every half hour from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. There are typically around 30 people in each small group. So we started our adventure at the Town Square Theater, where your check-in is located near Tony's restaurant. If you arrive once the park is open, it can get crowded, especially with the character meet and greets. So when you go in, the check-in is to the far left. So if you can't really see it, just head to the far left and you'll find it there. Be sure to have your photo ID ready. I almost forgot mine, but they do check, so make sure you have that. And then when you check in, you're going to receive a menu to choose your meal. They're going to give you a name tag and a bottle of water. Then you'll wait for your guide, who's going to give you headphones for the tour. And we love this tour so much that we actually did it twice. Both times we had fantastic guides and they shared different stories, so it was adding a personal touch to each experience. The highlights of the tour for us? Well, basically you start going down Main Street and we learned fascinating facts about Walt Disney and his brother, along with details about the park's designs that we often overlook when we're rushing to the rides. It was a great opportunity to appreciate the artistry and history behind every corner. As we made our way to Adventureland to the Jungle Cruise ride, our guide shared more insider info. And then we were given the VIP treatment. We got to skip the line and got to ride this, and we felt incredibly special. After this, we headed to Frontierland, where we got an exclusive peek behind the scenes, including some insider parade info. And then lunch followed at Pecos Bill's, which during our first tour that we took on the Keys to the Kingdom was at Pecos Bill's for lunch. but on the second time that we took it, we stopped at Columbia Harbor House. And here you'll receive your meal that you had chosen plus a souvenir gift. We're not going to say what it was. After lunch, we learned some secrets about the Haunted Mansion, and once again we got to skip the line. So after walking through the park, we were taken to one of the most secret areas of the park, the Utilidor, which is the underground tunnels used by staff to navigate the park. As our tour wrapped up, we learned some really interesting details about Tinkerbell's entrance during the nighttime fireworks. So what our thoughts would be? Well, obviously we enjoyed this tour if we took it 2 times, and I really enjoyed having the backstage access and discovering the details that we would normally miss. And yes, skipping the lines did feel fantastic. And did it ruin the magic for me? Well, I did have initial concerns at first, but in reality, the tour only deepened my appreciation for the park and all its hidden wonders, and I do find that I'm spending more time looking at the details than I ever did before. Was it worth the extra cost? Absolutely. We did it twice for a reason. The first time had a slightly long Q&A session in the heat, but the second guide moved it inside, and it was much more comfortable. So if you have any questions, I would say jot them down beforehand because this is your chance to ask. There was a little bit of extra time when people didn't have any questions. I think they just had to have some filler time. So make sure you have your questions beforehand. So tips for your visit. Make sure you wear comfortable clothing and shoes because you're going to be on your feet a lot. And the tour does run rain or shine, so be prepared for the weather. I was really thankful that I brought this sun umbrella because during the summer they did try to they stopped to talk and tell you things, and they tried to pick the shade, but there were times where the sun umbrella really came in handy. So overall, we highly recommend the Keys to the Kingdom tour. It's an unforgettable experience that gives you a whole new perspective on the magic of Disney. So next up is Disney's Fireworks dessert party at Magic Kingdom. If you've ever wondered what it's like to experience these exclusive events, we'll give you a taste of it now. So if you are interested in it, you need to know first that Disney offers 3 main types of firework dessert parties, each with its own perks. So the first one is seats and suites. This option includes a dessert party and guaranteed seating for the fireworks. We went for this one, and while we did get front row seats, they were quite a distance from the castle. This meant that we missed out on some of the castle's animations, but on the plus side, it was great to sit down after a long day, especially since we had the Keys to the Kingdom tour earlier that day. Definitely a lot to pack into one day. The next option is the pre-party. You'll enjoy your desserts before the fireworks, and then you'll have a reserved standing area for the show. This option provides a better view compared to the seated choice. And the third one is the post-party. With this option, you'll also get reserved standing area for the fireworks, but you have your desserts afterwards. So these parties are hosted at the Tomorrowland Terrace restaurant, and prices range from $119 to $129 for adults and $75 for children aged 3 to 9. And this is on top of your regular park ticket. So back to our experience with the seats and suites option. We arrived about 30 minutes early and we scored excellent front row seats. The desserts were decent, but didn't really justify the high price tag, though the exclusive viewing area and unlimited wine and beer might make it worthwhile if you're a drinker. For kids, spending $75 on desserts and juice might not feel like the best value though. So if you're thinking of booking one of these dessert parties, I'd suggest going for the pre-party or the seats and suites option to get your sugar fix in earlier in the night. This way you're not heading back to your room on a sugar high after the fireworks. In hindsight, I'm glad we tried it, but since the desserts weren't particularly themed or memorable, and we missed some of the castle's animations, I don't think we'd do it again. Maybe with a few more Disney-themed treats or some savory options, it would have felt worth the splurge. So last but not least of the extras today is the Fireworks dinner package at Epcot. So what makes this an extra? Well, years ago, you could enjoy a meal at the Rose and Crown and try your luck at scoring a table with a view for the fireworks. It was a bit of a gamble. And then Disney saw how popular this was, so they created the Fireworks dinner package, which is available in the World Showcase at the Rose and Crown or Spice Road table. This package includes guaranteed outdoor seating for the fireworks, along with a delicious 3-course meal and unlimited drinks. And yes, that does include alcohol. So we've tried booking this at the 60-day mark before, but had no luck, until just recently. So we finally secured a reservation at the Rose and Crown, which was our top choice. We had checked out the menus in advance, and we were excited for this one because it matched our taste perfectly. They recommend coming a little bit early, and so we did get the second row, but I would say the views were still fantastic. Our server brought out the menus, and then we eagerly made our selections. For appetizers, you have a choice of a Scotch egg or coronation salad. I went for the salad, which was huge but tasty, while the others opted for a Scotch egg, which they did say they enjoyed. For the main course, the options included fish and chips, shepherd's pie, bangers and mash, or an impossible hot pot. Our group chose the shepherd's pie and they loved it. I went with the bangers and mash, which was very tasty but a tad cold. So we all opted for drinks featuring a great selection of beers, wines, and a signature cocktail. I particularly enjoyed the Sparkling Duchess. It was delicious. Between the foods and fireworks, we each had 2 drinks, and then it was time for dessert. It was either a plant-based gelato or a sticky toffee pudding. We all chose the pudding, and even though we were stuffed, we couldn't resist eating almost all of it. It was that good. So we would highly recommend this experience. At $92 per person, which included tax and gratuity, it's really not a bad deal for Disney. The children's price is $41 for ages 3 to 9, but it is worth noting that $92 price tag for kids 10 and over does seem a little bit steep. So that wraps up our review. If you have any experiences to share or want to learn about any more Disney dining options, drop us a comment below. So thanks for watching, and until next time, took to you later.